his supporters. What does it say about you?
Oh shit, he's bleeding. Yo. He's bleeding.
The left and the opposition party in the media.
What they want to do is shut up the deplorables.
You continue to make excuses for this man for his vile behavior. Doesn't that make you just as bad, if not worse, than him?
2018 is another election about Donald Trump. Because you know what? They're scared of him. They are scared of what he's done. They're scared of the economy that he's created.
Historic tax cut, African-American unemployment, Hispanic unemployment, record lows because of what the president's policies are.
He's delivering jobs, he's securing the border, probably the greatest foreign policy we've seen in decades.
And for all of you who over the last few years have uttered that tired, lazy, uninformed, uneducated, ignorant response, you know what you can go do?
Fuck Trump.
They know that Trump is on the rise out there in the polls.
If the Democrats win the midterms, they are going to go after Donald Trump for impeachment.
Impeach 45!
This election cycle is about the highest stakes possible for our nation.
This is Armageddon.
Tell me what the Democrats are running on.
Are they going to vote on let's bring ISIS back?
They have no answers, so they resorted to racist and xenophobe.
What we've got to do is fight in Congress, fight in the courts, fight in the streets.
We will punch some people in the face.
A homeless woman confronted as she showed her support for Donald Trump.
This is a cultural war.
And that's why we must do everything in our power to block this appointment.
The left wants to undo our country. They want to take away the freedoms we have.
We have created 2.4 million new jobs.
2018 is a referendum as to whether or not a duly elected president is allowed to do his job.
The president is unstoppable, but he's only one man.
You know, this is tough stuff. We're fighting a war.
No wall, no USA at all. No Trump, no wall, no USA at all.
We needed these rally films to kind of get people empowered. So this film is for the base plus to get them excited, to get them out, walking precincts, etc. So I think it's, you can already tell it's gotten a big reaction already from the Democratic left.
Well, the funny thing is that it's coming out Wednesday when you had Omarosa, Woodward, we had Michael Wolff, Omarosa, Woodward, and now the anonymous column. And there are some out there who say this is all planned. I mean, I don't know if it's all planned and coordinated, but you almost would think it would be, given that it's every day it's a drip, drip, drip.
The film shows what President Trump's been up against since day one, right? It shows in the campaign, but particularly shows in the White House what he was up against. And I think the convergence of that book in the anonymous column, I mean, it's quite evident that President Trump, there's a coup. I mean, there's a coup like there was a coup by General McClellan and the senior leadership in the Union Army to try to thwart what Abraham Lincoln wanted to do in the Civil War. You have an exact type of coup right now. Establishment Republicans and the Democrats have been about managed decline to the United States of America. President Trump is a disruptor. He's an innovator. And this is what drives him nuts. Because of his policy, and what he's doing is reorienting the world's supply chain back to the United States. That's why Mexico's just cut a deal with us. That's why the EU is going to cut a deal with us. That's why Korea and Japan are going to cut deals with us. He's winning. He's absolutely economic nationalist. Absolutely, you can tell what he's doing on trade. He's bringing jobs back here, just like he said he's going to do. They hate that. Goldman Sachs, Gary Cohn, these guys are the investor relations department of the Chinese regime.
But they're all bought into China.
100%.
They're all their chips are on China.
What they told Trump is that the rise of China is like the second law.
Inevitable.
Inevitable. It's like the second law of thermodynamics. It's some law of physics that can't be turned around. And Trump said that's not true. And he's been relentless. The book opens where they're stealing. They're taking off his desk the deal about NAFTA and about Korea. Eventually, and they say, oh, it's terrible. Trump didn't know. Eventually, he got around to it.
Right.
He renegotiated NAFTA. He renegotiated Korea, and he's renegotiating in the process of taking the supply chain back from China.
Why was Omarosa hired?
She was on the campaign, and by the way, Omarosa was very good on the campaign. Yeah. Very effective.
She was effective, but boy,
she was very effective on the campaign. She did a terrific job. We had to throw Omarosa into some very tough situations, and I think that's why
Reince taping conversation.
Well, I think that's why Reince, look in hindsight, but Reince and people, I think, made a straightforward decision.
Looking for.
I